Hello, dear children. Welcome to Guru Gobind Singh Foundation's Guru Gobind Singh Public School and Junior College. Dear children, today we are going to learn subject Geography for Standard 7. Dear children, lesson number 3, Winds. We are going to see the first part of the video. Children, here are the learning outcomes of the lesson. To enable to know about wind, to know factors determining types of winds, and to understand the types of winds. Dear children, when we see outside from the window of our classroom or from our house, we can observe that some objects are moving. Isn't it? We feel that something is moving. So children, we feel the wind but cannot see it. When a certain object in our surroundings move, we experience wind. So the movement of air is called wind. Children, here you are able to see two children are blowing paper rolls. So you have to do the activity. Fold the paper into two same size rolls. Keep both the paper rolls on one side of a table. You and your friend should select one roll each. Without touching the roll of the paper or the table, what can be done to move the paper rolls to the other end of the table? So children, see who moves the paper roll first to the other end of the table? What could be the reason of the delay in making the rolls reach to the other end of the table? What can we do to move the rolls to the other end of the table with a greater speed? Can a bottle filled with water be moved to the other end of the table in this manner? Children, can we use the same method that you tried for moving the paper rolls? Dear children, here is a geographical explanation for this. Children, you are able to see the diagram which shows the changes in the direction of the winds. Children, the blue arrow, it indicates the change direction because of the rotation, and the red arrow, it indicates the original direction of air from high pressure to low pressure. So dear children, air is not uniform across the earth's surface. Air moves from higher pressure areas towards the low pressure areas in a horizontal manner. Winds are generated due to these movements. Dear children, the extent of the differences in the air pressure affects the velocity of the wind. If there is less differences in the pressure, wind blows with less velocity, and wind blows with a greater velocity if the pressure differences is greater. Children, wind's velocity is measured in the units of knots or kilometers per hour. Children, here you are able to see the factors which are determining the types of winds. The first one is the direction from which they blow. They means air blow. Okay. The region covered. And the third one is the condition of the air. So dear children, there are three types of winds. First one is the planetary wind, second is the seasonal wind, third one is a local wind. Now we will study one by one. Now children, there are the three types of planetary winds. First one is a easterlies, second one is a westerlies, and third one is the polar winds. Now we will study one by one all these three types of a wind. Now here children, you are able to see the westerlies and easterlies winds. We will see the differences of both the winds. Children, easterlies winds means the easterlies winds which blows from the mid-latitudinal high pressure belt that is 25° to 35° parallels, which we had already learned in the last chapter. Okay, so children, in both the hemisphere to the equatorial low pressure belt. So we can say that the equatorial wind blows from the mid latitudinal high pressure belts in the both the hemisphere from the equatorial low pressure belt. Okay, then in the northern hemisphere they blow from northeast to southwest direction. Now here is the direction. From in the northern hemisphere this wind blows from the northeast to the southwest direction. So children, in southern hemisphere this winds blows from southeast to northwest direction. Remember their direction, children. Now westerlies winds. So children, westerlies winds, they blow from the mid-latitudinal high pressure belt to the subpolar low pressure belt near 60° parallels in the both the hemisphere, northern and southern, both the hemisphere. Okay, so in the northern hemisphere this westerlies winds, they blow from southwest to the northeast direction, and in the southern hemisphere this easterlies winds, they blow from northwest to southeast direction. Now dear children, now we will learn about the last type of a planetary wind, that is polar wind. As you know about the polar region, yes, it is very frigid region, isn't it? So in the both the hemisphere, means southern hemisphere, northern hemisphere, winds blowing from the polar high pressure belt to the subpolar low pressure belts are called as an polar winds. So dear children, these polar winds generally they blow from east to west direction. Children, we will see what we learned today. We have a quick recap. We learn about wind. We learn about activity of generation of wind. This you have to do. After that, we learn about the changes in the directions of the wind. Then types of wind. In that, we learn about the planetary wind. That is easterlies wind, westerlies winds and polar winds. Dear children, do the assignment that you have to draw the figure which is given on the page number 21, figure number 5.2. Okay, then rewrite the following. It is given as a fill in the blanks on the page number 28. Dear children, if you have any queries, let me know about it. I hope that you had understood the lesson. Thank you very much.